Okay, so let's officially get started. You guys, thank you for being here. I am so excited about 2019. I'm really excited about January's Live Your Passion campaign, which we'll kind of be doing all year. So I wanted to talk a little bit kind of about our theme and maybe answer some questions about that. I'm not going to go super into detail only because I'm going to be posting a show flow in the next. We'll have another host call to answer questions once you guys get the collateral. So I just wanted to go into our theme for January is whole life wellness, new year, new you. And we really want to focus not just on your new, let me see, I'm going to see if I can mute everybody from here. Oh, I can. Perfect. Any person. Okay, perfect. So everybody should be muted, and then you can unmute yourselves if you want to talk. Thank you for that, Amber. Okay, so we really want to focus in the new year on wellness and oh my gosh, physical, emotional, and mental wellness. Sorry, it's been a long week. I'm ready. I'm checked out for Christmas already. So that's kind of where our focus is. We really want to focus on goal setting. We want to and how Young Living can help them do that, and how having this Young Living community and having our teams can also help them do that. So that's kind of the focus, but if you have a specific theme, you know, you want to have a winter thing, or you want to wear pajamas or whatever, yours, and just empower you guys to, you know that this is your business, and what you invest into this is the return that you're going to get. And so we have Amanda. Amanda, please don't kill me if I'm saying your name wrong. I met Amanda. She came to Utah with Kari Lewis's Royal Crown Diamond Carpet Day, and I just love talking to her. She's such good energy, and she's here today. She's done online rallies and in-person rallies, and leads, and how she makes the rallies her own. And so I just encourage you guys, if you have questions or if you're looking for best tips or practices, definitely ask today. But also I want to make sure everyone's on our the global Facebook page comes in your confirmation email. And I just want to make sure that everyone's on that. You have to answer the 3 questions to get added, but that is truly the best place to get resources, because and you're the best resources to answer questions and share best practices. And some of you are awesome and you make graphics and share them with everybody. And so I just encourage everyone to be on there. I try to communicate pretty frequently. So just letting you know, like when collateral's coming, or if you should have received an email. I know some people cannot get the bulk email from YL Rally. And so I just want to make sure that you guys, if you see that the content right away, or message me on Facebook. And that email is ylrally@youngliving.com. And we'll make sure that our team gets you the collateral or answers questions. If you have problems with your registration link that was online or anything like that, make sure to email. Momentum demands movement. I like that. That's awesome. Leanne, make sure that you've answered the 3 questions that you are hosting and where you're hosting, because I think I just went through yesterday. We don't add, but I will look for you today. And then let's see, new year, new you, wrapped around the Sleek line. That's awesome, Samantha. And the Sleek line is back, and we are doing, we have more to kind of announce regarding Sleek, not necessarily and really having accountability people. So we're going to talk about Sleek for sure in January. Relax and refresh. I like that. That's awesome. These all literally go perfectly with whole life wellness and new year, new. So I love it. Amanda right now. And then if there's questions and stuff after, we'll get to that. But I want her to talk more than me. She's far more important. So Amanda is a Young Living Diamond. She lives in McFarland, who I actually got to meet as well, and he's awesome, super fun. They have 3 kids. They have Hope, 11, Siler, 10, and Kaysen is almost 7, and they live on a small farm. And Amanda's passion is in supporting and helping them lead intentional lives and businesses that are fueled by their hearts. And this is actually something that I really enjoyed talking with when I met Amanda, just how she is always teaching to lead with your heart, how they do things, and there's no wrong answer, but I just really liked kind of her approach. And Amanda believes that Live Your Passion rallies are a great opportunity to do just that. Amanda, I'm going to turn it over to you, so you'll have to unmute yourself, and I'll mute myself. But if you can just kind of start by telling us, like, sort of your Young Living story and kind of how you got here, and then we can go from there.
Thank you so much, Laura. I hope everyone can hear me. Can you hear me?
Can you guys hear Amanda? I can't hear you.
Okay, can we hear me now?
Yes,
Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay, good. So I'm Amanda Brunngraeber. I am from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Thank you so much, Laura, for having me. I'm really excited to be here with all of you. This business is helping people be their best selves, and that's as members, as business builders, and then as actual human beings. So I started Young Living, and I was a photographer before I was a Young Living member. And I had been doing photography for about 3 or 4 years. And my passion in photography slogan was real life photography. It was really important to me to have authenticity behind it. And if you guys have had family photo sessions, you guys know how crazy it can be and how easily it is to get really, like, sometimes we get real expected to look a certain way, but it's not really truly what's going on. And so carrying that through has been really important to me. I started Young Living because I was looking for wellness for my kids, especially really start owning health in a different way.
You guys, Amanda, I think I just muted you again. I'm sorry. I'm playing with this because I can't hear a single word you're saying and I can't figure it out. So I remuted everyone. Amanda, will you?
Okay, can you hear me? Okay. Laura's got nothing though. You guys can hear me. So weird. Okay, we'll keep going. So is it picking me up on the screen too? Okay, cool. Perfect, thanks everyone. So I started Young Living because of my kiddos, and it literally, I have already been doing a lot of wellness, but I was doing it on my own. And so when I came in, because I was tired of feeling alone in my beliefs on wellness, like literally felt so alone because I was making decisions that no one around me was making. And so when I jumped in, it was about bringing people in because I wanted them to feel connection. I wanted them to feel like they were a part of something that was bigger and could help them see that are different and to really own wellness in a new way. So I totally love the theme for this year, for kicking off 2019, because owning wellness isn't just let's grab a bottle of oil and all the pieces of wellness, of knowing why you're even picking up the bottle in the first place, or why you're ordering a bottle, or why you're telling someone about Young Living, and being super intentional. And if you guys have any questions about my journey, I hit gold about 5 months into my journey, completely crashed, which is absolutely okay. And it caused me to really learn wellness in a new way, of more than just it being health and sickness, but really what is self-care, what is making sure that I'm on how when I'm in wellness, everyone else around me is also in wellness. Because sometimes it was really easy for me as a mom and a business owner to put myself last. But I realized that when I put myself around me is no longer being served in the best way. So I have to make sure that I'm taking care of me, and then I can take care of everyone else, because it creates those ripples automatically. I also realized that when my daughter is 28 years old, or starting to have kids, or is a mom, or when my boys are fathers, I want them to be able to take that time. I would hope that they're able to put that investment in time into their own self-care. And the best way for them to learn to do that is to watch me to do that as a parent. And so we create these ripples when we start watching our self-care. And so my passion is teaching people this, and teaching people how to even step back and actually like really look at what self-care means without the guilt and the shame and all those other triggers that often happen when we start doing the process. So as far as rallies, I have done Live Your Passion rallies, and I think they're amazing. I'm so thankful for Laura and her passion in these. You guys see everything she's constantly working on and planning months in advance for each of the rallies. And it's so good. These events are such an awesome opportunity for us to have a framework already created, so that when we show up for an event, we can be authentically ourselves. Like, that is my passion for you guys. It's being authentically you when you show up at those rallies. Have your passion and do it the way that it feels really good to you. Maybe having a rally with 150 people is completely your jam because you wish you could have been an event planner. This would be my daughter. She would want to rally with all the people from all the neighborhoods around and maybe the entire state if she can make it happen. Me, on the other hand, I would rather have 10 people come to my house and hang out and do something more intimate. And both ways are absolutely perfect as long as it's authentic to you. And maybe it's about helping someone else have a rally. Maybe you're not a speaker. Maybe you don't want to get in front of people. And what if that's okay? That's really, and it is. It is okay. It's actually really good. Whatever it is, ask yourself, what do you bring to the table? When you have an event, when you're thinking about doing these rallies, what are you wanting to bring to the table? What value are you wanting other people to gain from that? Keeping in mind that you cannot make anyone walk away with anything other than maybe a physical bottle of something, but you cannot make it a successful event for anyone else. That's up to them to come to the event and bring home for themselves. So your only job is to show up and be you. And over and over and over again, you show up with yourself, you show up with your heart, you show up with your passion, your joy, and your love for Young Living and the people who are also there. The people that show up to these events for you want to see you. They also want to see each other, and they want that connection. And Laura and Young Living have made all the videos and graphics and all of this super easy for us, so that part doesn't have to be in your wheelhouse, because for a lot of us it isn't. And so that part's really easy. So you just fill in the gaps. You empower. Your energy when you show up an event is going to empower everyone that's there. Like, I've seen it where, you can go to an event, throw on the videos on a slideshow, just play them, shut them off, and walk away. And while effective because you're all together, really ask yourself, why am I doing this? What do I hope to bring? What value do I hope to bring to the table? How can I show up? And really, really sending that energy out to all of those people and finding your gratitude in the whole process, because the people showing up are showing up to be there, to invest. This is a huge thing, and it can be super easy. The events bring, let me see, I've got some notes here. So you've decided you're going to have an event. You decided that you are super passionate. So then what? What's next? Think about who around you also has skills who could participate in, because while the event is a 2 to 3 hour event on one day, it takes time to prepare it. And it's this cool opportunity to teach people how to use their gifts and talents well in creating the event in the first place. So asking who around me has talents that can be used for this event. Maybe you have people who would like to volunteer to bring something. Maybe they bring my local team is filled with a lot of people who love cooking and recipes. So they always bring oily infused snacks and desserts and love doing that and bringing recipes to share with everyone. That's totally their jam. And so every time we have an event, that's one thing that we always ask. And it's an easy way for those people to show up, and maybe not in a way that's so bold for them right off the bat. Maybe you have someone who does an oily icebreaker, and have them in charge of that. I also make sure I get my husband and my kids involved in events, especially in-person events. My husband is my tech guy, and so he comes and he makes sure all the technology works for me. And then my kids come and they make sure everyone has oils or has gotten little snacks at the table, or totally involved in the games, however they can do it. Allow your people to see you, because I think that's one thing that's cool about Young Living, is that no matter where you go, it's family oriented. And so be willing to get your family involved and allow them to bring their skill set to the table too. So once you're there, once you're at your event, some tips and tricks. Number one, tell your stories. No, let me go back. That's not number one. Number one, bring oils. I know maybe that sounds like a no-brainer, but have you ever gotten to the end of an event and realized no one even opened a bottle of oil? So set the intention for the event right off the bat by passing around a bottle of oil that's aligned with your intention for everyone to use and smell. This is a really good opportunity to allow people to experience an oil maybe that they haven't tried before. So definitely step outside of the PSK. And I like picking an oil. Often I'll have like 3 in my pocket, and whichever one comes out is the one that was the right one for the event. I kind of like to wing things like that sometimes. Gathering would be a great oil for sure. Clarity is a good one. And awaken, joy, new year. So grounding is a really good one for bringing people in. And pass that around. Then tell your stories. So whether you're doing an in-person event or an online event, you can set intention and suggest oils for online events too. Like, very first thing, kick off your entire online event with suggesting an oil and tell the intention for using that oil, so that your entire online group can have that opportunity to use an oil that together. And then kick off with telling your stories. You know, get live. If you're doing online events, get live. Go live in your groups. Go live in, have other people go live, and tell your stories. Tell your Young Living stories. Another reason for suggesting oils, like I do monthly themes, oil themes in my team, is because sometimes these are oils that there's oils out there that people don't know about, and it's a good way to expose them to a new oil so that they can add it to their ERs. So not only is it a good way to expose people to new oils, it's also a good way to support your essential rewards percentages and helping people ordering something new and fun. And even in your online events, show up as you. Again, it gets really easy to just throw the stuff up here and there and expect that that's just, it'll do its own work. And the information Young Living gives us is literally that. It's information so that we can show up and fill in the passion. We get to be like the cream filling in the middle of the donut, the part that everyone just waits for, because we hold the whole thing together. And without both pieces happening, you don't have a full donut, right? I mean, unless you like donuts with holes. But I show up as you, show up in your passion, and allow yourself to make mistakes. You really do have everything you need. Allow yourself room for error. And it's totally okay if that happens. I'm going to try and see if I can look at, okay. I'm going to look at the chat here, see if there's any questions.
I think, Amanda, the biggest thing in the chat is they were just asking like kind of how you can do things online. And like you said, you can suggest an oil online,
Yep.
which is awesome. And then Kara just said you can also do giveaways for people that do the most comments. So I think if you have suggestions of ways to kind of still incorporate the people and show your passion while still being online, that would be awesome.
Yeah. So ways to show up. Number one is you're kind of planning for events all the time, right? So meaning that when you're consistently in your groups and in your teams on a daily and weekly basis, when you are part of an event, your other people are already programmed to know that you're going to be showing up with good, valuable information for them. So if you haven't already started like jumping into your groups on a regular basis, start it now, because now is prepping for your event and making it successful. And it can be as simple as just a graphic asking what they're diffusing today or whatever. Just you have to have an online event. No longer will it just work to have a class. We are really, really, really all about connection. And I've been reading some new material about 2019 and trends in businesses. And it is all about telling your story and being vulnerable. And this is when we're doing events online as well, is getting vulnerable. People don't want to be spewed information at, because we're in such a technology space. We constantly have information being spewed at us, right? Constantly. We're constantly being influxed with information nowadays. So we have to be willing to be human and get more involved. To just spew content at people isn't enough anymore. So making connection with them, asking open-ended questions, getting your kids involved in online events. My kids have been doing online videos and doing like their favorite diffuser recipes for the holidays, and my kids do unboxings of products. Get your family involved even in the online stuff. And giveaways. I think giveaways are really fun. Make them interactive, and I think they mentioned for commenting and jumping in. You can also do some kind of fun giveaway for showing up for the event, whether it's maybe it's a recipe booklet or something fun that you would do. Take your in-person event, if you had recipes, and put it into something that a format for online as well. It's okay, because everyone has an in-person world. So you can take an in-person techniques and bring them online. Does that help? Oh, what am I reading right now? Right now I am reading, I think I was reading an entrepreneur magazine that had that article in it for January 2019. I usually have like 3 or 4 books going on at a time. So, or magazines or whatever I can get my hands on. Are there other questions? Laura, do you have any questions? Anything that I can?
I just am wondering, like, is there anything that you would have loved to know beforehand, or just any piece of advice that just like the first thing that jumps out at you for any first timers that have just never done it at all, just having gone through it, many times now, just anything just that would help you to have known before?
Just do it, honestly, because I think I was really in the camp of it has to look a certain way and it has to look and feel a certain way, and I need this many people to show up for it to be worth it, or all these different things of proving my worthiness. I was using events, and we do this in all the things. We try proving our worthiness through some of the actions we're taking. Guys, your event cannot prove your worthiness. Your worthiness is already there. You already are worthy. You already are enough. That's not why you have an event. And if it is, it's okay. It is okay if that is why you are having an event at first. If it's because you want to know that your team appreciates you or whatever. But if that is really your motivation, stop and allow yourself to soak it in that you are already enough. That no matter what happens with your event, it cannot prove anything to anyone. Okay? That's what I, number one, would have needed to hear someone tell me. And probably give me a hug. So this is me virtually hugging all of you and saying virtual high five for being here and showing up and wanting to know more about events and having your events. Like, that is huge and so amazing. And I'm so proud of you for having an event. And let it go. There's things that will work perfectly. There's things that won't work perfectly, and it's okay. Let's say at the very worst, none of your technology works. Let's just say if that were to happen, pull out your phone and show everyone what you need to on your phone, or talk about it, or wing it if you have to. But thanks to Laura, there is no necessity to wing anything. And Laura does amazing with these events. And we are so grateful for you, Laura, for making it easy for people to show up in a big way. And that's what this is about. Like, we can only all come together once a year at convention. And for anyone that comes to convention is so powerful and so much fun. And these are a great way to keep in contact and keep that momentum and energy flowing around from convention to convention, so that we're still making connection with our people. And that's what these events are really about. It's about making connection with people. And so if you're doing an online event, it's about making connection with people. So we can spew information, or we can invite connection, and we can create the stories and create the communication and the open-endedness of relationships, because that's what this business is. This business is relationships with ourselves and with each other and with the world around us. And it's so cool. It's so cool. What an amazing, amazing place to be.
Amanda, I love it. I'm going to read you a few questions that came while you were talking.
Okay.
Let's see. So these kind of go together. How far out do you start to advertise for your rally? And will you start out right after New Year or sooner? Let me let you answer that, and then I'll ask this next one, since it's kind of a different topic.
So I start talking about rallies as soon as I know that I'm hosting one, which it can be anywhere from weeks in advance to a week in advance. I've literally pulled together a rally at the last minute within a week, because things happened where I was able to make it happen. So there is no perfect way, but just start talking about it. Start talking about getting together, start asking for volunteers, and start pinpointing volunteers. You can ask for volunteers, but actually reach out and contact your people and say, hey, you're really good at this. We're having a rally. Would you do this? Would you bring your gifts to the table, or your stories, or asking, this is so random, but asking open-ended questions at your rallies about what oils they use that morning. That's another good question to ask even in the place, and get some action right in your rally and create it, like setting up your chairs if it's a small enough group. is not necessarily doing your chairs like in like stadium style, but actually doing them in a circle. So you're actually can see everyone and chat and make it a little bit more homey.
Awesome. Okay, so Amy asked, we're doing some business training in our rally. Anything you suggest to definitely talk about or definitely stay away from talking about?
Business training at a rally to talk about. I think the business training at a rally is a great time. I would keep it a little bit open so that you can answer the questions that are going to come up that people have been afraid to ask. Sometimes we plan it so much out that it has to look this way that we leave some questions unanswered. So ask them to come with questions, or pre-ask questions in your groups online to have already available. Things to avoid. I set the intention with my teams and my groups and events that it's it's a high vibe place, period. So any sort of negativity is not welcome. And I don't even have to say that. I just personally set that intention. So that's about all I avoid, because I think it's fair for people to ask the questions that they need answered. But as long as they have good intention coming into that. Good things to talk about. I like talking about the income disclosure statement. I like talking about the opportunity of freedom. This business, goodness gracious, 4 years ago, I didn't expect to be Diamond and have my husband home with me and living a life of freedom and flexibility. You know, the possibilities are really amazing here with this business in wellness, purpose, and abundance. So talk about that stuff. Talk about the opportunity, and talk about all of the pieces and how they all work together.
Awesome. So Kayla said getting true interest and involvement is where she's having trouble. So if you have any kind of advice on just getting people involved and kind of excited about a rally, maybe if you're a first timer and they haven't already come to an event and they don't really care, they're not really interested, how do you get people to even come or join?
I would ask, I always start with me. And I always say that if my team is not excited about it, what about it am I not excited about? Because the things that I get really excited about, my team gets really excited about. And so I always start with me first. And if I'm seeing something happening in my team or around rallies or around any event, I ask, well, what are my real, true thoughts about this? And once I uncover that, almost always, it's like a switch flips and we see this opportunity happen. So finding where your passion in the rally is, like what about a rally really makes you excited? What about a rally? What value do you see in the rallies for yourself? And why is that important? And really embracing that and running with it. Also thinking about whether or not it seems that there's people who are feeling like a rally needs to look a certain way in order for it to be successful. And I'm going to talk about this again because a rally, we have to let go of our expectation of what we believe our rallies need to look like in order for them to be successful. You can have a rally with 1 or 2 people, you know, and just get together with your people. It doesn't have to be 150 people. In fact, I don't even recommend it. I would recommend 2 people or even 1 other person. What if you only have 1 other person and you guys meet for coffee and you watch the videos and you chat and you open oils and you get excited and you talk about sharing and you make a list of who you want to share with that month and you talk about what new products you're going to use because you are also jumping on the new you train, and you just create that communication. It can be 1 other person. So letting go of expectation of how it's supposed to look. I think this is really important for a lot of people.
So Amanda, I actually have a question for you.
Yeah.
So I think you've already totally touched on the purpose and why you do the rallies and to connect people and connect your team. What do you think is the best or biggest impact post rally? Like, what do you see or what do you hope for? Is there business in there that, like, if you don't see immediate sales growth or enrollments, are you disappointed? Like, what are you looking for, and what's best case scenario for hosting a rally?
So for me, I always leave a rally feeling reconnected. And I truly believe that when we're reconnected to ourselves and each other, all of the other parts of it fall into place. When we are really understanding what our intention is in empowering people, because we're here to help get oils into every home in the world, right? And we're helping to empower people to be their best selves in wellness, purpose, and abundance. And when we are truly operating from that place of intention, our businesses will grow. So for me, I call IPAs, we have all heard of IPAs, and lots of people call IPAs income producing activities. And so maybe we would put rallies under an income producing activity and expect. I actually don't like calling them income producing activities. I call IPAs intentional productive actions, because sometimes we take actions in our businesses, in our lives, that may not result in an absolute immediate income effect. But when we're intentional and we have a strong enough vision of where we want to go, it always can align. So intentional productive actions. Having a rally is an intentional productive action around creating community and setting intention and spreading passion. And that's what these rallies are about. It's about passion and renewing that passion and letting it like just spread like wildfire through your team.
That's awesome. I love that. I am seeing a question just on, and I think that this might be for everybody, but just, is there a better time that people have turnouts? And I will just speak that when everything launches at 12 noon Mountain Time, and I know it's hard to like keep quiet, right? If you're on the East Coast and you're doing an earlier rally and we ask you not to post, and that's probably hard. And so I don't know how much that like affects everybody, but Amanda, if you have thoughts on that. I know Kari is on the East or on the West Coast, right? So that's behind when things are launching. And so I'm actually also curious, like, does that, having a one launch time spread across some time zones, does that affect when you guys plan and have kind of higher effective positivity and what's going on?
Yeah, I like having my rallies in the morning. So if I'm doing an in-person rally, I like doing it in the morning, because then we have the information and they're sworn to secrecy and they feel like they kind of have this like secret thing that they can't tell anyone about until it goes online. All of our online rallies are programmed for times that are right with the timelines that you set. So we're like launching everything right at the moment that we are allowed to. So it is a little bit harder to do them after, just because there is so much excitement. You can feel when there's an online rally, you can feel the mounting of the excitement as the goodness keeps happening. So I kind of like to either go before that if I'm doing in person, or during. It is also like, there's also power, I think, in after that excitement, carrying it on, that online rallies can do, is because in an in-person rally, you have it and then you guys all leave. But an online rally, you can carry that momentum through that day or the next few days, and re-bringing that post in your groups and being like, hey, did you guys watch this now? What'd you think? Isn't this cool? Or asking questions a few days after. So it doesn't have, I don't think a strict timeline a timeline can be very variable. as long as you're coming in with that intention of holding that passion. Because if you're like, well, I know you already know this, and your energy matters every time. So you're setting the tone for the rally no matter what time you have it at.
Yes, I could not agree more. I love it. Well, you guys, if you have more questions for Amanda, type them in here or unmute yourself. Amanda, I think everything you said is spot on and perfect for, the newer people. I think once people really start doing it and grasp it, and it becomes your own more and more every time. One thing that I would just say, coming from just the corporate side, I think it's really important to recognize up ranks, or even with the new P&Ps, even if somebody's just achieved the 1 month, giving them that energy and excitement and kind of giving them the kudos in front of everybody, even if it's online, gives them that excitement and energy to keep pushing and hopefully reach that recognized rank. And so I think as much recognition as you can do, whether it's in person or online, is huge, because that's your team essentially.
Yeah, that's huge, Laura. I'm glad you said that, because that is really, really important. People love that. And it doesn't take, it only takes a second to do, and it's huge. It's so to feel very special, and to see that those actions were taken, because that's what those ranks do. They represent so much good intentional action, and it's really powerful. Yeah, thank you for mentioning that.
Of course. Does anyone have anything else for Amanda? Any last few questions? Amanda, do you have any last closing thoughts or comments or anything you want to leave everybody with?
Can we speak?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Amanda. I live in Kenosha, Wisconsin, not too far from the UP. Anyway, I'm a first time. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I don't know what I'm doing here, and I'm not going to be knowing what I'm doing in my rallies, so I guess this is all good. I have other people's faces on here now, so I'm not what's going on there.
You're good. Oh, can't hear you.
Do we know when we will have our clips and videos ready so we know what we're presenting? How soon will that happen?
So we will send, with whatever emails you guys have registered with, hosts and co-hosts, Monday morning, the week of. We've debated back and forth a bit, trying to do it a little bit sooner, but the problem is that it's so hard to keep everything, under wraps. So the plan is still Monday morning, but we'll the way we've been sending it is there'll be a presentation that's completed, videos embedded for anyone that just literally wants to hit play. And then we'll also send a presentation without the videos embedded and a link to the videos so people can play them maybe in a different language, or just choose subtitles or no subtitles, or just maybe there's a video that you don't even want to touch on. It has nothing to do with your theme on the day, and so you don't want it in there. And we'll also have a notes script just to make it easy for people to print out. So we're trying to make the actual setting up of the content as easy as possible for you guys to just sort of, like Amanda said, fill in with your passion and your stories and your recognition and your swag and your questions and all the stuff that makes your event yours.
Okay. I got cut off. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm doing an event for within a wellness group that I do a lot of stuff around self-care. I don't have any members. I don't have any Young Living members underneath me. In fact, my upline's not even coming to my rally. I'm just putting myself out on a limb here because I feel that's the only way I'm going to get unstuck, because you can't depend on other people to do it for you. But at any rate, so I'm wondering, I'm just inviting contacts, people that I know that may or may not be interested, but is there going to be anything in the material provided from Young Living about how to get involved with Young Living as far as the premium starter kits or anything, or should that be something I maybe do on my own a little presentation on that at some point.
Yeah, so that's going to be something that you'll probably want to do on your own. We definitely, kicking off our 25th anniversary, we're going to talk about our accomplishments as a company, who we are as a company, where we are now, and what our future looks like, our 5x5 pledge. So we always want to talk about who we are and what we're doing and why we're a force for good. But in terms of the actual talking about the starter kits or talking about building a business, that would be you and how comfortable you are and how you would want to present that.
Is there going to be a lot of time between the presentations provided by Young Living to do other stuff?
Yeah, so that's where you can decide that your rally's 2 hours, and I've been to rallies that are 8 hours. So you can decide however long you want it to be. In the show flow that I send, I'll post it on Facebook and also in the host toolbox on the landing page. But that'll tell you how many videos, how long they are, and kind of how long for each kind of segment of content. And then you can fill in, I'll take 5 minutes and do recognition. I'm going to do 5 minutes and do a icebreaker giveaway. I'm going to take 15 minutes and I'm going to have these 3 people tell their story or a testimonial or, anything like that. And so you can sort of, like Amanda said, fill in, the gaps anywhere you want to. And so we'll give you those, the segments and the PowerPoints, but then you can add in your own slides. You can pause the presentation and say, this is where we're going to get into groups and talk about this, or we're going to talk about this recipe, or, if you're at home, you want to do a DIY project. If you have 10 people in your home, that's where you get to kind of make it what you want it to be.
Okay. Is this going to be available for replay? People that don't show up, can they view it after?
Yes. So once everything goes live at noon on that Saturday, you can play it anywhere, post it anywhere. We want you to share. We want you to keep sharing in your Facebook, post the videos on YouTube, whatever you want to do. But yeah, we want you guys to share. I mean, that's like Amanda said, the goal is to get oils into every home in the world. And the only way to do that is to share.
Right. And you could also maybe have some people in your home, but still have others viewing just online on your online event, correct?
Sorry, say that one more time.
Could you do like a combo event? One online, people are attending online, but there's also some people in your home.
Yes, people do that all the time. You can totally be doing it online and at home. And you can also do one, let's say in your home, or doing an in-person one. And then maybe the next day or sometime that week, you use the content and maybe you do a Facebook event, or maybe you do it just for your team, or you can absolutely mix and match them.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, Amanda. Good. I love the whole intentional wellness thing. That was great.
You're welcome.
Do we know whether there's going to be, like, in, what was it, June or July rally this year, they had promotions for, like, premium starter kit with a double dewdrop diffuser. Do we know if there's going to be any of those type of promotions? Not necessarily specific ones, but is Young Living going to have promotions like that to be announced?
So for January, we are not going to have a spot promo like that, but that's because we are announcing something that's new and we're excited about, and we want the focus to be on that.
Okay, awesome.
And so there will be a new announcement, but in terms of just like the spot promo like that, we're not going to do that this time, but that's not every time.
Okay, great.
So Laura, is the Sleek and 60 starting later then? Because it seems like it usually starts January 1st, because I've already had like some education on it. So is it actually starting like after the rally?
No, so I believe that the date where you can start purchasing the Sleek line products that are the right ones for you, I want to say January 3rd, because that's when we're all back in the office. So I believe that's when you can start purchasing. And then the Sleek challenge and the team challenge will start, I believe, February 1st. So we'll announce that in January, hoping everybody's getting what they need. And then we'll start the challenge February 1st.
Okay.
Does anyone have any recommendations on what to put in swag bags? I just saw that from Janet.
We don't do swag bags, and because I'm like connected to Shannon Hudson in Michigan, we do giveaways. So we like hand out tickets and we just do giveaways, because to me, sitting and putting together swag bags would take a lot of time. So we just bring extra oils, we bring extra game plans or other books, and we give tickets and give handouts instead of swag bags.
I personally have never done swag bags. And my reason is, number one, it's not in my wheelhouse. And number two, I want it super simple and easy and duplicatable. So I want to be able to set the bar there for my other people who decide that they want to bring it to their teams, and make it super easy for duplication. So whatever we do, our teams believe is the way that it always should be done. So we want to make it super duplicatable. Not that, and I have one of my girls who's amazing at swag bags and loves custom designing everything. And so she usually puts a notebook and a pen for people to take notes. And then maybe, like someone just mentioned, a DIY blend that's specific for that rally, or even stickers or giveaways. I think are really super fun, because then you don't have to have one for everyone, but you can also expose them to new products. And make sure when you're doing giveaways, talking about what products you're giving away and what they do and why you are giving them to people, so that people that don't win them go back and they order them because they're excited about something, a new product to them. So
Can I get your opinion on something, Amanda?
yeah.
Okay, I'm doing a public rally, and it's open for members, non-members, anybody interested, because there's a lot of interest, but sometimes people are a little bit too shy to step forward and say, okay, tell me about this. So I'm doing a public rally. Now, in that, I plan to have a raffle, okay? And I'm raffling off several different things. I'm giving out samples of like the einkorn flakes, maybe the Balance Complete, or protein. Oh, you know what I mean. I can't think now. You know what I mean, though, right?
Yep.
Okay, and then we're going to raffle off different things, and of course, all those proceeds go to the foundation. Okay, but in doing this, what I don't want to exclude anybody. Okay, so in doing this, like, let's say Joan Smith over here, who's not yet a member, okay, and I'm going to say yet because we all know everybody's going to join eventually, right? And so Mrs. Smith over here is not yet a member, and she won the raffle for an oils bag, an oils travel bag. Okay. Would you give a choice between that and maybe like a roller blend of Divine?
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely give her a choice if you wanted, or maybe the oils bag is exactly what she needs for that kit she's about to get.
Exactly.
You know, sometimes whatever happens is the way it's supposed to be. And so when we start doubting ourselves too much, that's when we just get caught up in it. So leave it as simple as possible for yourself. And if you have that ability to decide that if you want to offer two different, then you can. But I like black and white. Like, so if this is what I'm drawing for, congratulations, this is what you won.
Perfect. Okay. I kind of second guessed myself on that one a little bit, but that's just me.
Yeah, just have confidence and just know that it's supposed to be that way and it's perfect the way it is.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love it. All right. Does anyone else have any last second things? I just want to just reiterate, make sure you're all on the Facebook page, because these are the kind of things that people are sharing and talking about every day. And then once you get the content, once you get the email with, all the content in it, I'll also have another host call that'll be that week, and you can ask questions about the content. Anything that you need clarity on, we'll have somebody from our marketing team on the call. We'll have somebody from our training and education team on the call. So just make sure to look for that as well. And as always, I'll always post the calls on Facebook, because obviously everybody can't make the time at the same time.
I just have a question. Do we have any projected time? I need to run a space and I need to know how long.
So our content that we're giving you guys, probably, I would say a little over an hour. We have shortened the videos. We used to do like 15 videos, and we went away from that because we want to go for value instead of quantity. And so I would say a little bit, probably over an hour. So I would fill in the rest of it with like everything else we've been talking about. If you want a 2-hour event, come up with, close to an hour of all these things. If you want a 3-hour event, maybe you add in snacks or extra testimonials, or maybe you have another speaker talk about something that they're really good at. Does that help?
Are you talking in an hour of videos or an hour of total program with the PowerPoint?
An hour with the videos and the slide content to actually deliver it. I would say probably a little bit over an hour.
Yes, that helps. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. All right, and then make sure that you are looking in the host toolbox in the next few days for the show flow, and I will post it on Facebook, and that'll help too, because you can see exactly how many videos, how long they are, and kind of what those segments look like. I'm just waiting for like 2 more videos just to get the final times on those, and then I can post that, and then that'll actually help you guys even more than right now to plan. So.
Can I ask a question to Sheena?
Yes.
How many giveaways do you guys do during your rally? This is going to be my first one.
So usually what shows up? So what size is your team? How many people do you expect?
I have no idea about how many people are going to come, but I have, my tribe is 14. So I plan on inviting neighbors, co-workers. I don't know. It'll be a smaller one.
So for you, I would just look in your stock, and if you have duplicates or extras of stuff that you personally got for free for promos, that's what my giveaways would be.
Great.
So I do larger ones because I'm a silver and I collaborate with other silvers. And so what we do is we usually ask senior stars and above to bring something. And so usually, depending on the size, probably about 20% to 40% walk away with something. So it just depends on the size. So because it's just you really doing the rally, I would have like 3 giveaways out of extra stock, not pay for anything. Here's an extra lavender that I have sitting here. I can go reorder it. That's what I would do.
Great. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Well, I am gonna, I guess, close the call. This has been so awesome. Amanda, thank you so much. And for everybody that asked questions and answered questions in here, I think this kind of collaboration is really how we all get better. And so really grateful for all of you guys. I hope that you all have an amazing Christmas or just holiday, whatever you celebrate, and just a great time with your families. And just hit the ground running in January. Let's do it. We have big ambitions with our 5x5 pledge, and it's people like you guys that are going to get us to where we want to be. So Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, everybody. Amanda, thank you. I'm going to sign off.
Thanks, Laura. Thank you for all you do.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.